If I could just get everybody's attention, please. You can usually tell what kind of a crowd you have by the level of conversation that's going on at the tables, and pretty obviously we have a great crowd here today, so thank you. My name is Dave Sprague. I'm the president of a brand new company by the name of Agriculture for Life, and I'm also the incoming chair of the board of directors of the Calgary Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for being here today. We really appreciate it. Now, whether you're an optimist, somebody that believes that Canada and Alberta in particular are well positioned as a result of our resources and our stability to weather this storm, or whether you're a pessimist and you think that the challenges worldwide are going to be just too great to overcome, I think in the next 30 minutes or so you may have the definitive answer. It's a pleasure to be joined today by Canada's Finance Minister, the Honourable Jim Flaherty. And Mr. Flaherty, thank you for taking the time to be here today. We really appreciate it. So let's get things underway, and first of all, I'd like to introduce our head table, starting, of course, with our guest of honor, the Honourable Jim Flaherty, Minister of Finance. Thank you. Russ Girling, President and CEO of TransCanada Corporation. Murray Edwards, Chairman, Canadian Natural Resources Limited. Charles Rugrock, Interim President and CEO of ENMAX. Bruce March, Chairman, President and CEO of Imperial Oil Limited. Dr. Sam Shaw, Vice President, Natural Gas Policy Development, Encana. Adam Legg, President and CEO of the Calgary Chamber of Commerce. Now, we have a pretty illustrious crowd here today, so I have a few more introductions to make, and if you wouldn't mind, give us a wave. I'm going to try to go through these reasonably quickly. The Honourable Ted Menzies, Minister of State for Finance. The Honourable Tim Uppal, Minister of State for Democratic Reform. Alberta's Deputy Premier, Doug Horner, the Honourable Doug Horner. Alberta's Minister of Finance, the Honourable Ron Leipert. Minister of Service Alberta, the Honourable Manmeet Bhullar. We have Members of Parliament, Dr. Kelly Leach and Michelle Rempel. Alderman Gord Lowe. U.S. Consul General Laura Lockman. And we have former federal cabinet ministers, the Honourable Rick Casson, the Honourable Jay Hill, and the Honourable Chuck Strahl. And from your Calgary Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, we have Melody Cregan, Chuck Schmerlo, and Rob Hawley. There's probably not many of you left that I haven't introduced. The Calgary Chamber of Commerce prides itself on bringing you the best quality speakers, and this really couldn't happen without the great support from our sponsors, and I'd like to recognize them right now. Today's event sponsors are TransCanada Corporation and the CIBC. We also have a strong group of event supporters, the ATCO Group, Bennett Jones, BMO Financial Group, Canadian Western Bank, Enbridge, Encana, ENMAX, Imperial Oil, MTS Allstream, PwC, RBC, and Shell Canada. A round of applause for our supporters, please. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce Russ Girling. Russ Girling is the President and CEO of TransCanada Corporation. He assumed this role in July of 2010. Prior to this, he was the Chief Operating Officer, responsible for overseeing TransCanada's pipeline and energy businesses. And prior to serving as the COO, he was President of Pipelines for TransCanada, with responsibility for their North American regulated businesses. Mr. Girling has been recognized as one of Canada's top 40 under 40. He's received the prestigious Management Alumni Excellence Award from the Haskayne School of Business, where he earned his MBA. And for those of you that get out and about, you know that he's very active in charities, a director of the Willow Park Charity Golf Classic, and a leader of the United Way campaign. And right now, and I've been reading about this in the paper, I hear he's just a little bit busy trying to build a pipeline a little bit south of here. Ladies and gentlemen, Russ Girling.
Thanks, David, for the long and kind introduction. I'll try to keep this short because I think that all of you actually want to hear Mr. Flaherty speak. It's a very big honor for me today to introduce our very special guest, the Honourable Jim Flaherty, who is our Federal Minister of Finance. Over the past few years, Mr. Flaherty has had a very strong hand in successfully stewarding Canada through one of the worst economic crises since the Great Depression. As a result of what I believe is significant foresight and policy discipline in Prime Minister Harper's Conservative government, as well as Minister Flaherty's steady hand in finance, Canada has become a recognized global leader in responsible financial management, a recognition that earned Mr. Flaherty the Euromoney magazine's Finance Minister of the Year award in the recent past. And today, Canada and the Minister are looked for advice. And from the European countries currently, as we're all watching the news every day, as they struggle to bring their economies back online, Canada is seen as a true leader. And Minister, that work is something that makes us all very proud as Canadians, putting us on the world stage and showing what we can do and punch above our weight. Mr. Flaherty is a third-term Member of Parliament from Whitby, Oshawa, Ontario. In addition to his role as Minister of Finance, he serves as Minister responsible for the Greater Toronto Area. He is Governor of the World Bank and International Monetary Fund, and he's an ex officio member of all cabinet committees. Previous to his service in the federal government, he served as a member of the provincial parliament for Whitby Ajax in Ontario for more than 10 years, where he served as Deputy Premier, Minister of Finance, Attorney General, and as Minister of Labour. The Minister is a graduate of Princeton University, and he also graduated from the Osgoode Hall Law School. After being called to the bar in Ontario with honours, he practiced law for more than 20 years before entering his public life. He's married to a member of the Ontario Legislature, Christine Elliott. They live in Whitby with their triplet sons. And I know that I've seen the Minister speak on many occasions about how Canada is faring in the world, and I know that we're all in for a great treat today. So without further ado, I'd like you all to join me in welcoming the Minister today as our guest speaker, Minister Jim Flaherty.